by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to Drinkin' Bros, kids. It's Monday in Austin, Tejas. I woke up this morning, D'Anthony, and went outside. It was 90 degrees, and I felt like I needed a shawl, maybe a jar of Werther's.
Yeah.
I had to bundle up.
It's been warm. Our buddy Chris Williamson is in. It's recorded with him for
Hi,
Citizen. Is here now. He grew up obviously in England.
Yeah,
where it's quite a bit more moderate.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah.
Although he was telling me it's like 37 degrees Celsius over there right now. It's about the same as here.
That's 118 degrees then, right?
In England.
Yeah,
it's the same temperature as it is in Texas right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and there's
good. They fucking deserve it.
Yeah.
We beat your country, and that was like 250 years ago. We got to start winning more shit back, like the weather. Fuck you, Chris. I'm glad it's hot.
That should be a new segment on the show where we just bring out random British people and insult them.
I agree. Look, we've got a couple guests here today, and we may or may not insult them. We'll find out.
They're not British.
We got Dax Holt and Adam Glynn from the Hollywood Raw podcast. Welcome to the show, kids. You guys are real live paparazzo. You're the guys.
We're the guys.
We are the guys, man. Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one of you fucked Lana Del Rey?
I would.
You said before the show and nothing was off limits, so here we are.
Yeah, we meant it. Nothing is off limits. So, Adam, why don't you answer that question?
Dude, right into it, huh? Damn. Caught me off guard with that one, dude. Yeah, I caught her at an off time. This was like right after she just, she didn't do well on SNL. Remember that?
Yeah.
She bombed on SNL, and she was staying at the Soho. She was staying at the Soho House in the West Village, and she came in the meatpacking district of New York City. And she came out. She's smoking a cigarette, looked cool, and I was like, now's like my perfect time to I'm going to just straight hit on this girl.
Yeah.
And I was pretty aggressive, but in a charming way. And I always said, if I have this job, my goal is to hook up with a celebrity. That was like the goal of the job. That was just, listen, I'm from middle-class New Jersey. I'm trying to, this is be really cool. And I said, hey, let's get a drink. And at the time, I figured I'd do it on camera. I was like, let's get a drink.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, put down the camera. And I was like, well, if I put down the camera, you're going to just act cool and not give me the number. She says, no. Should I put down the camera? We exchanged numbers. And we actually have her email. But at the time she was dating this dude, she was dating like this bartender in the East Village. But we never, nothing happened of it.
Sure.
I didn't bang her.
Sure. You didn't have sex with her?
I did not have sex with her. No.
Okay, great. I won't make you go into specifics like an HJ or a Western grip, from the. I'm not going to make you go into specifics after that. Maybe you guys had some dinner together, some drinks and some laughs.
She's a nice girl. She's a very nice girl. Listen, I don't want to sell myself short. Maybe there's a chance down the road. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I want to blow it, dude. She's.
Can we get the applause for that? Maybe there's a chance down the road. Just hammer it for me, please. I appreciate it.
Get the applause after.
I need it now. I want them to know that we're serious about it. Give them the applause. Louder.
You know what celebrity I did hook up with though?
Which one? What do we got?
This was kind of crazy. I hooked up with Kate Olsen. You guys know Michelle Tanner from Full House?
Fuck yes, dude. All right.
That was pretty cool.
Was it before or after she was famous?
This was at. Well, here's what happened. I hooked up with Michelle Tanner from Full House. That was cold. That was good. That was good. So we met at this club in the West Village in New York City, and we were making out. Right. We got back to her apartment in Soho. And here I am freaking out. I'm hooking up Michelle Tanner from Full House, right? Mm-hmm. So we got to that point, I'm making out with her. I'm freaking out. I get to that point. I ask her if I should get a condom, right? She's like, you got it, dude. And then I
shut the fuck up. There's no way that happened.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Then I put my pink in her butt, and she was like, "How rude!" And no, I didn't hook up with her. I tried to, but that didn't happen.
God, that would be the greatest story of all time. Because we've always said on this show and the other show, Ross Passion Revolution, if you get a shot at a celebrity like that with that much wealth, that much money, you don't pull out and you keep firing off as many rounds as you possibly can, and hopefully one of it takes. And then you're a K-Fed, you're a stay-at-home dad who just gets to fuck around all day.
Yeah, but you got to take her to somewhere like here, like Texas, where she can't get an abortion.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Yeah. Are you regretting it now coming on here?
I would be happy to be K-Fed, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the greatest.
Do you know how many pairs of gray sweatpants I would own?
My God.
Like 20 at least.
You have to.
White tank tops and gray sweatpants.
Yep.
That would be my uniform.
24 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. Were you guys around in Hollywood for the K-Fed days?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Popo Zao. Do you remember Popo Zao?
Fuck, I still work out to it to this day. I blasted my quads to Papa Zao this morning.
Dude, I was full blown at TMZ when Britney, K-Fed, all that crazy shit was going down.
Dax was there when Britney was taking the umbrella to the cars, shaved her head. Like,
yes.
When it was the heart of the whole
That was like
paparazzi gold.
2007. It was wild.
Well, she's doing a lot better now.
She seems great. If you follow her Instagram, she seems great. She's married to a lovely Persian man, and there's an ironclad prenup in place. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. What's the worst that could happen there?
What could go wrong?
Yeah. So you guys were doing the barefoot in the gas station bathrooms, the whole shit during that.
The whole thing. That was probably the craziest time, honestly, to be in entertainment news. Like, just covering that, the daily travelings of Britney through the streets of LA, wandering around. It was insane.
Yeah, I had, and you got a lot of money for it back then. So if you got that golden shot, it was worth X amount of dollars, and it was kind of relentless, right? How long did you have to follow her around?
So I was inside the office at TMZ, so I wasn't out doing that. I was more reporting on air, her daily adventures. But those shots would go for a lot. Here's the problem though. There was 90 paparazzi following her. So
Right.
You never got that exclusive shot. Very rare would you get that exclusive. That's where the money comes in. If you're the only person to get the photo of her beating down a car or whatever, pulling off her wig, that would have been worth the money. But when you're traveling and there's 50 people following her, everyone's got a photo. So they're worth pennies.
Yeah, and then how do you decide? Like, do you buddy up and then try to block some people out of the way so you can get the shot? Or do some of them call you personally and say, hey, I know this pic is going to be worth $15K. Do you want to split it with me and just meet me at Mr. Chow or something like that?
Yeah, so that's what happens. The people will go in with each other. They'll say, listen, we're the only two people on the job. Let's just split the photo together. Sometimes, it is very competitive. It is it can be a little bit dangerous depending on the people you're dealing with, because it's very cutthroat and because there is a lot of money on the line. So I've seen people get physical with another cameraman just to block them from getting the shot. There was nights where I remember, so Dax is in California, I'm in New York City. And I remember I would hate when like Lindsay Lohan or Amanda Bynes would come to New York because I knew something was going to happen. It was just one of those things like, oh man, they're here. And I would go to sleep and I knew something would happen. I remember this one night I go to sleep and I wake up at 3 a.m. because Lindsay Lohan got arrested outside a club. And it was just like, I knew something was going to happen. It was just terrible. It sucked because you lost sleep over it. And as a news site, you're trying to be competitive with the other news sites and beat them to the story. So I'm racing down to the police precinct to get the photo before anybody else can. It was very intense.
Yeah, I bet. And looking back at it, that period of time was before everybody had one of these and they could, blast away photos and video and all that stuff. So you had to essentially be a member of the paparazzi, or you weren't getting that photo, you weren't getting the video, because the phones didn't really exist then.
Yeah, phones, social media just made everyone a paparazzi. Everyone out there is now a paparazzi that has a phone in their hand that has a camera attached to it. That's, my job at TMZ was essentially to take in all the photos from the outside world. So people would pitch us photos, videos, all that kind of stuff. And we'd go through it to see what we wanted to put on our website, put on air. And the second, you enabled the public to be paparazzi, that's when things got really crazy.
Yeah, and it's like people became paparazzi of their own lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like before you eat the food, you got to take a fucking picture of it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Like, get out of here with that shit.
Yeah, and it seems to be never ending right now. You guys were in the fun times where it was just like, all right, people were still doing coke in clubs and things like that outside because nobody was able to take a picture of it. And then you caught the crazy shit later. The Britney one will always break my heart, not because of what happened to her and her getting her head shaved, but I had a shot at that. Do you guys remember that Jason Alexander wedding in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in I think Ghost Bar just opened in the Palm, right? For New Year's Eve. And I'm with somebody I'm dating, and she comes walking through Ghost Bar and comes right up to the table, and she's like, I want to dance. I'm literally just sitting with my girlfriend, and I'm like, oh my God, dude. And it's prime Britney. Like, it's the best Britney Spears you could hope for. And I'm like, let's go, you know? And my girlfriend's like, no, and kind of politely told her to walk away. And then she came back 20 minutes later and started to get a little bit more aggressive, Britney. And she was pretty much just like, fuck you. And my girlfriend had stood up, security had got involved, and I was just like, all right, cool, we're going to get away from this. And then 2 days later, I woke up, and then she's married to Jason Alexander. And now I'm pissed because I lost $10 million that night.
Dude, you fucked up.
Yes. Yes, and I still look back at that. Like, I could have been the K-Fed. I could have been the one just sitting at home, you know, and...
You could have been in your gray sweatpants for the rest of life, dude.
And now I'm fucked. Like, I'm a talking monkey with him, and we're doing this shit, but I could have been the guy just playing shitty golf, making some shitty rap songs every single day, and now that's all out the window. But, you know, such is life, I guess. What's a sweet run-in that you had that you were like, man, this was one of the coolest interactions I've ever had with a celebrity?
I mean, I've had so many, dude. From like one day I had a tip that Beyonce was filming a music video in Coney Island. So I go there and check it out. I got there an hour before and was in Coney Island in the middle of the summer, and all of a sudden nobody's there. I'm like, I think this is a bad tip. An hour later after I'm there, I start to see like cameras start to like show up, but it was very like guerrilla style. It wasn't like a real shoot by any chance. So I'm hanging out a little bit more. Finally, out of nowhere, Beyonce pulls up, and she's walking around with a small crew, and they're filming her as she goes on the rides. And, you know, I'm like right in the thick of it, and all of a sudden the crowd starts to develop, and Beyonce's there. I'm trying to get to her, and I'm getting like pushed out because there's so many people. So I'm like, screw this, I'm gonna leave. My buddy calls me, who's another photographer who was with me on the scene. He goes, listen, come back, they're walking on the beach, I think you could get close to Beyonce. I was like, all right, let me try. So I fight my way through on the sand, and I get up close to Beyonce. I go, B, what up, B? I call her Beyonce like I know her. That's my way of getting her attention. I'm like, what up, B? She goes, what up? I go, B, this is crazy. She goes, this is nuts, right? I go, B, let me do a cameo, because she was like filming something. She goes, come on, come do a cameo. She pulls me in. There was like not even music playing. I just start dancing with her for a second. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, after like 5 seconds of me dance with Beyonce, literally like one of the bodyguards takes me and like throws me in the sand because they think like I'm some crazy guy jumped in. The director of the video was like, no, he's cool. She called him in. So finally I clean up, like they're protecting everyone, pushing everyone else away from Beyonce. I talked to her a little bit like, hey, thank you. That was so sweet. She's like, no, that was cool. 4 months later, it's like 3 a.m. My buddy calls me, goes, yo, you know, you're in the new Beyonce music video? I go, what? He goes, you're in Beyonce's new music video. I'm like, are you kidding me? I put on like YouTube, and Beyonce came out with this album where a surprise album. She had all the music videos already done, and she put me in this music video XO, which was absolutely insane. It came out on a Friday, and I remember like I was going to work that morning, and the video, they used that clip on like Good Morning America, the Today Show, all over the place. And I'm driving through Times Square, and my face is like, they're showing the clip in the middle of Times Square. I'm like, dude, what is going on? And that was like my Courtney Cox moment. Remember Courtney Cox was in a Bruce Springsteen video? That was me in a Beyonce video. So, I mean, that was pretty insane. I mean, but I've gotten to, you know, I got to hang out with Shaq and became really close with Shaq. He's the man. And actually, funny, Shaq, I mean, I've got to interview Oprah on the streets. And the thing for me is, as you guys know, if I reached out to every single publicist, I said, hey, I want to interview, you know, Brad Pitt, O.J. Simpson, Dennis Rodman, you know, and I said, I would love to interview him. The first person picking up the phone would say, sorry, we're not interested, click, and hang up on me. But I realized if I get to them, if I find them, if I get up close to them, they will talk to me. And I've been doing it for more than a decade now. And I've been able to interview everyone from presidents to Oprah to, you know, Shaq was the one who really put me over the edge and really like changed everything for me, because he brought me around town with him, and all the security at all the TV shows. They used to like get physical with me and throw me outside. Shaq's like, no, he's coming in with me, to the point where I remember Shaq was doing the Meredith Vieira show. And Shaq brought me inside with NBC to him, and I wasn't allowed in NBC. And the security of NBC goes, hey, Shaq, thanks for coming in, but he's not allowed to be here. I go, hey, Shaq, I'm going to leave. Shaq goes, listen, if you go, I go. And Shaq goes, listen, he's got to go. And then the lawyers from NBC come in. Hey, Shaq, listen, we'd love to have you, but he's not allowed to be in the building. He goes, no, listen, if he goes, I go. And it becomes like a who's going to hold
Mexican
out more.
standoff, without Mexicans.
Finally, we're waiting there, and then they never came back again. They left me in the studio. He goes, Shaq's like, you're my friend. You're not going anywhere. And that was the coolest thing. And then, again, Shaq's one of the smart people who gets it because, like, you should be cool to me. Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to hang with you. And if you're cool to me, I'll be cool to you back. And we became really close. And he's the man. He's the best dude. He's genuine. He's a good person. But I've had some wild, insane situations going on stage with Steve Aoki pieing people to singing with Aretha Franklin and becoming close with her. Like it's insane, dude.
What about you? What's your wildest encounter?
Well, it's going to look pretty pathetic compared to all that shit he just pulled out of his ass right there. No, I think one of my most memorable times was kind of like at the height of TMZ and being on TV every night. And I remember going to Katsuya. Do you guys remember how popular Katsuya was in Hollywood there for a while?
Oh yeah, dude. Right on Vine.
It was like everyone was going there. And I remember do you guys remember Max from the show, who was like the surfer guy, long blonde hair?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go out one night and we're having dinner at Katsuya, and in walks John Mayer. And John sees us and pulls up a chair. And he's like, guys, love what you're doing on the show. Like, sat there, ordered sake bombs, like sat with us, drinking, having a good time, just chatting up, taking a bunch of photos with us. And this was in the time that John Mayer was like being a super goofball with all the paparazzi. Like, he'd just make all these fun videos. And so I remember him saying to me, like, at the end, he goes, okay, when I leave, I want to do like a really fun video with you. Like, we'll walk out in front of all the cameras, we'll do something cool. And so the end of the night came, and I couldn't wait around anymore. He was taking fucking forever to eat his dinner. So I ended up piecing out, but I regretted it to this moment. But it was just such a fun interaction because he was like the biggest A-list star. I think at that time it was either Jennifer Aniston that he was dating or Jessica Simpson. I can't remember who he was dating at the time, but he was just the biggest dude in the world. And he came to sit down with us and just wanted to have drinks. And that was a pretty fucking cool moment.
That's awesome. Have you seen his dick? It's huge, by the way.
He did not whip it out at Katsuya.
Oh, he didn't? You wonder, when you've got something like that, something special like that in between your legs, if that's just something you pull out and you're like, hey, real quick, before I pay the tab, let me show you this dick. It's amazing.
The question is, do you ever put it away? That's the bigger question.
Boy,
I save it.
Yeah.
I save it for like some dude, we're having a debate and he fucking wins. And I'm like, no. Just dump that hog out on the table.
There's a pic of him after this show is over. Google this pic of John Mayer pissing, and you can see he's almost holding it with two hands, like it's an injured fawn or something.
It's more like a pork tenderloin. I think.
Where but he's like it's almost like he's holding the fawn towards the stream to get some water, like it's gonna die. It's a beautiful shot of it, and we're huge dick pic fans here.
So actually, it's funny. I was just telling you about the NBC story with Shaq.
Yeah.
That day, I went to the bathroom with Shaq, and he was like, we went to the bathroom to go take a piss, and all of a sudden, Shaq went into the stall, and I went to the urinal, and I didn't think anything of it, And then all of a sudden, we started washing our hands after, and Shaq goes, "I'm sorry." I go, "Why are you sorry?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't like to pee in urinals. Everyone tries to take a look at it." I was like, I get it. I mean, I get it.
So
I get it. Everyone's going to look. Come on. It's fucking Shaq. He's going to be above the actual dividers.
You have to. So I knew this girl who fucked Shaq, right? And that was the first question out of my mouth. I was like, how big was his dick? And she was like, dude, it's so hard to tell because he's such a gigantic man. She goes, nothing will ever look big enough on a guy like that. Like you want to expect that it's the trophy behind me. And it's just like, it's not going to be the case. So she couldn't tell. She was like, look, it was proportionate to his body, but also his body's like 7'2".
You just got to put something next to it for reference.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your arm.
Right. When you're that big and you take up that much space in a room, you've got to grab something off the, like a loaf of bread out of the kitchen and be like, all right, cool.
That's how you got to do it. You wait for Shaq to go to a urinal and you grab a smart water bottle and just like fall into him, whoops, and take a selfie at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because, there's people that are so impressed at a urinal, and I know why Shaq did this, I bet. Did you ever hear the Wesley Snipes story about Andy Dick grabbing his hog at a premiere? And Wesley Snipes just turned around and just punched him right in the face. But the story goes that he just kind of, Andy Dick had looked over and was originally making a joke out of it, and then just slowly, like he got lost. He got caught up in the moment and tried to grab it. And then Wesley Snipes was like, that's not happening.
Well, vampires also have the ability to hypnotize people sometimes. And he's half vampire, so.
And that's actually the least worst thing that Andy Dick has ever done, too. Yeah. That's the crazy part.
Boy.
That guy is, whew.
Yeah, and since we're going dark today, let's go dark. Do you guys ever get video? Did you ever get videos sent into you that were just so dark that you were like, I can't publish this?
Well, yeah. There was things that were coming in with, people having sex and stuff like in public areas, and it's just like, oh, you can't run that. There's got to be limits of, people having sex, and you just can't put it out there for the world. So yeah, there was stuff that would come in all the time.
But celebrity wise,
yeah, like celebs having sex in
shit.
public,
really? And you couldn't post that?
No.
Anybody fun?
Yeah, it was someone fun.
All right,
I don't know if this one's came out a while. I better not say. I don't.
I'll trade you. We'll trade these if you want to. I'll trade you a story.
I just don't know if I'll get in trouble from the NDA over at TMZ.
Oh, got it. Okay, I'll tell you mine anyways. Who gives a shit? We were friends with a buddy who ran one of the biggest porn places over there, right? So he was getting celebrity sex tape all the time. The ones he told us about that he got previously, where I didn't believe him, was Tiger Woods. And he's like, dude, we got a ton of videos of Tiger. And they were like, his lawyers called and shut it the fuck down. They made sure, like, hey, if any of this gets out, you're fucked. And I was like, no way. Tiger's a good dude. He's probably never done anything like that or cheated on his wife. And then cut to a few years later.
And then it all came out?
Yeah. Look, there was a 9-iron through his windshield, That's all
that ruined my Thanksgiving. That whole debacle. I was at home having Thanksgiving dinner, and I got a call to go buy all those photos of the car with the smashed windshield, all of it. I had to go buy all those on a Thanksgiving.
No shit. By the way, the other one was Charlie Sheen, where Charlie Sheen, it was just a bunch of gay dudes, and they were all smoking crack. Very similar to those Biden videos. I don't know if you saw the Hunter Biden 4chan videos. But it's very similar to that, where it was just smoking crack, doing a bunch of fucked up shit with dudes. And it got to the point where they were getting so many videos, they were like, we can't post this. It's not even sexy enough to post. And I was like, same thing. I was like, Charlie Sheen with dudes? No way. And then, boom, he's got AIDS a few years later.
A lot of times with stuff like that, the first person, especially the photo agencies, if they get access to that type of content, the first person they're going to try to sell to, their first client, will be back to the celebrity and say, hey, listen, someone's trying to sell this. Do you want to buy it back? A lot of times they do. So you don't even see half that stuff, especially like, if a celebrity's naked on vacation,
right?
The first person they're going to say, hey, just to be in good graces with you guys, we're going to try to send to you guys exclusive first. If you want to just pay for it, it's, you guys can
not
do
even
it.
Good graces. They just want a good paycheck because you can offer the photos for a really high price, and those people are going to pay it because they'd rather pay the high price than to get out.
And I had a buddy of mine who, this was years ago, got a video of a celebrity cheating on his honeymoon. And he got the video and the photos, and he went to the person's agency and said, hey, listen, I got this content, just letting you guys know that. And then they were trying to record him because it was like ransom type stuff. They're like, it was getting really sticky, and like he just felt, he was like, all right, I can't. This was before like even TMZ kind of really existed and that stuff. But that's right. That happens a lot where, some of these news outlets, they have something over someone and they say, okay, well, what can we do to make sure this thing doesn't come out? Well, why don't you just come by and hang out with us for a little bit? Why don't you do so? It's a teamwork at the end of the day.
So if you see an impromptu interview with a celebrity that maybe shouldn't necessarily be there, you can just assume that it was a sex tape.
Yeah,
they're hanging out to buy that sex tape back from you. That's what happened.
because that's what it kind of feels like. Is that true?
I don't know if it's so much like that where you have to do an interview with us, but I mean, there's big outlets that'll pay for interviews, which I also think is a little shady. But
yeah,
it's more just, I think, for like a lot of these paparazzi agencies to make a couple bucks quickly. Like, you don't have to have a bidding war between the agencies. Most of the time, a lot of those big news sites can't post the photos or video anyway, because that's, like TMZ wouldn't have posted sex on the beach. However, you go to the Star and say, we're going to start pitching it, and then they disappear after a little bit,
Yeah.
There was an actress, and I can't say the name because I had to sign some things, but I'll tell you guys later. There was an actress that someone who she was dating before she got famous. She was hooking up with this guy, and this guy was, from what it sounded like, from what he told us, because I didn't talk to the actress, but what he told, that he was supporting her during the early days of her acting career in exchange that she was having sex with him and doing some stuff with him. Then finally, years later, she becomes famous. This guy forgets about it, but then all of a sudden he finds he's got this video. So he hits up all the news outlets to go, hey, man, I got this video. I want to sell it. Now, the news outlets can't do anything with the video because in order for the video to come out, both parties have to sign saying that this video can come out. However, what the news outlets can do is say, hey, there's a sex tape out for sale starring this actress. So that's what happened. The video never came out, but every outlet kind of put out a video, like a story saying, hey, she did a sex tape with this guy. This guy's trying to sell the video. And we all knew that the video wasn't going to come out because she wasn't going to sign off on it. Now, at the time, the girl was dating a very famous person as well. And the guy sent like a mafioso type of private investigator to the guy's house with $100,000 cash and said, hey, here's $100,000. Shut the fuck up. Make sure this video never comes out. And that's basically kiboshed the story.
Was it Pelicano? Was it Anthony Pelicano?
No, it wasn't Anthony Pelicano.
Who showed up?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't him. No.
All right.
To be honest with you, I don't know the private investigator.
Because there was a couple back in the day where, look, dude, if you got a hold of Pelicano, he would be able to wipe that shit up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Donovan type style. That's, I mean, it still happens. It's funny because publicists now, they, in my opinion, Dax, we've always said this, they're overpaid. They can only protect you so much. Like I could put you can't even control the narrative. And they sell you on saying like, hey, we could protect the person, we could control the narrative, but necessarily they're not even the buffer. They're not even the middle person. Like I have a few celebrities that I'm close with where I feel like I've done more work for them than their publicists because, A, they're my friend, and B, it's just like I want to have a good relationship with them. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to smoke a joint with them. Like I'm not trying to like be the dick. I'm not trying to out them. Like I'm just trying to hang and keep a job. And so it's the smart ones get it. And honestly, from my experiences, the bigger the celebrity, the cooler they are. Like Oprah's awesome, Shaq's awesome, and then you deal with like a Snooki, and it's like you're the one who's going to be difficult. Like it's not. It's not,
I always say
weird.
it's the people you least expect, and that's the ones that'll be the biggest assholes. And you're like, "Fuck, dude, are we doing this? Are you kidding me?"
Well, it's the people that are new into the entertainment game. They're a reality star that became famous really quickly, and they feel that they need to be like that. When the biggest stars on the planet have been groomed for years and years and years on how to treat people and how to treat paparazzi or autograph seekers or whoever out there that's in the public because they know that they're always being watched.
So like Drake is actually a pretty cool guy. He's nice. He's actually a nice guy. His friends around him can be a little bit like they try to be the hard asses. They want to show off and say they're the tough guys. So here's a funny story. Drake was dating Rihanna at the time, and they're at Nobu 57. And I don't know if you're familiar with Nobu in New York City, but
New York,
the way it's set up. Yeah, it's the way it's set up. It's like it's in like in a corner where there's like an alley. You could go out two sides of the street. There's like a long path where you go on 56th Street. You can come out 57th Street. So Drake is eating inside with Rihanna. They're sitting in the inside, and all of a sudden, it's me and probably about 8 paparazzi hanging outside. And we're just hanging out there bullshitting. It was a nice night. We knew it was going to be easy shot. They're going to have to walk out. We're going to get them. The cars were there. All of a sudden, Drake's bodyguards come. And not his bodyguards. His friends come out in front of us. And they come out, and they stand in a line, Like it was like we're in the Alamo or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? We're sitting there like, what is going on here? They sit there in a line, and all of a sudden Drake and Rihanna come out, but they walk the opposite side. So they don't walk by us, they walk away from us, and they're facing toward the other side of the street. So all the paparazzi are looking at each other like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? And the guys are trying to form a wall, trying to like say like, you guys can't go past the wall. Now it's public sidewalk. We could go wherever we want. So all the paparazzi are looking at each other like, and then we just shoot. We all run, and we're all running around these people. And now you got like 15 guys running in circles they're trying to run after us. We're running around them, trying to get in front of them. And it's a funny thing to see. It's 10 at night. You have grown men just running around. They're trying to get in front of Drake and Rihanna so they could get the photos. And don't get me wrong, when they mean get the photos, they can't be like 4 feet in front of. These guys are trying to get at least 15 feet away because they have to get all of them in the full frame. So we got around them. We get in the position, like kind of like as we're running, trying to get the shot. Next, I get punched in the head, but I didn't go down. The guy punches me on the side of the head, and it was one of Drake's best friends. And I just look at him like, dude, really? You fucking have you have a shot to punch me and I'm not ready for it, and you don't even knock me out. That's all you got? And they're talking shit. And some of the other paparazzi are fighting some of the other Drake's friends. Drake and Rihanna got in the car, and that's when they know they fucked up, because you just punched the media, and that's a serious issue.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fucking do that. And they start driving, and the paparazzi go, screw it, we're going to chase them and follow the car because we're going to call the cops. So they're calling the cops, and they're following their car, and they're doing zigzags all through Midtown Manhattan. And then finally they drive to Jersey, and nobody wants to drive to Jersey. So then they just pulled off. However, I could have pressed charges. However, I don't want to press charges, because if you do that, that becomes public record, and I don't want my name in the news for that. The next day I woke up to like tons of gifts, not money, but like food and stuff like that. Like, it was nice. And it was an apology from them. And somehow they got my information, say, we're so sorry, got out of hand. We just want to be cool with you. And I didn't really care that much. Again, the guy punched like the fucking pussy. Yeah. So it was, Drake's not the bad guy, but it's the people around him that were dicks. And that's sometimes how you could tell if a celebrity's cool or not. If the people around them are cool, then they're cool. If they're on their edge, then they're probably an asshole.
Well, I've heard stories about his posse before as well. It's kind of like stupid shit. It never works out well when not tough people try to pretend to be tough. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know where his friends are from. If they're from, like, if he grew up with them, then they're from Forest Hill in Toronto, which is like living in fucking
six.
It's like living in Bel Air. You may as well be the Fresh Prince at that point. You know what I mean? It's like not a lot of hard streets that those folks came from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You would think that Drake would have some, better sense after spending all that time in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he was wheelchair Jimmy all those years. That's my favorite Drake, is in a wheelchair.
Usually it humbles you.
Yeah. And you learn as an actor that I could lose my legs at any moment, Still be good at basketball, but I could lose my legs at any moment. But guys like that, it's a strange thing, because you don't know what happened along the way, right? Where they got famous, and then you feel obligated to bring your buddies along, but they're all dipshits, and they could fuck everything up for you, but they're still remain loyal to them. Like, you see all these rappers go down left and right, and it's usually for that. You're just taking all your dipshit buddies with you out of the hood, and then all of a sudden one of them gets wild at one of these events, and then you're on the hook for it.
Yeah, you see that a lot with the rappers. I remember Rick Ross, when he first came out, like, he would have about 2 to 3 Escalades of people, the hanger-ons around them. And now when you see him, it's about maybe 3 people. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's not worth bringing everyone around. I don't need to bring this many people to me when I'm in New York. So, and especially, it happens a lot with the new rappers, and then they get a little bit older and they calm down. But that's just funny, because, like, when I started, I'm a 90s kid. So I grew up when the rappers were really tough, and like I was scared of like Ice Cube and Ice-T. And then you see the rappers now, it's just, it's Lil Baby. It's not really that intimidating. It's,
It's a different time, but they weren't that intimidating back then either. My first celebrity sighting in LA was Eazy-E at a Ralph's in Woodland Hills, for Christ's sakes. So I was
part of town right there.
I'm with my white family too. I'm with my white aunt, and I'm flipping out. I'm a kid, and I was like, oh my God, is that Eazy-E? She was like, yeah. And I was like, what's he doing? He's not in Compton. And no, he lives in Woodland Hills, dude. He's my neighbor, And I'm like, holy shit.
That's a go. I saw Biggie when I was like 13. He was in Miami. I was in Miami with my family, and they were filming the Reasonable Doubt music video for Jay-Z. It was his first song, you know, and no one knew who Jay-Z was, and Biggie was there. And I remember Biggie was legit big. The one thing I remember at Biggie, he had all these bumps on the back of his neck, and it was so gross. And I remember like going to my parents, like, can I get a photo with him? Like, can you take a photo? And they're like, no, like this guy's, you know, it wasn't that really charming to look at. Like, no, who is this guy? And I mean, that would have been a cool photo of me and Biggie. That would have helped out.
Yeah, it would. Because then every year when you celebrate the death, you can put that on Instagram and everybody knows that you were true homies. Because let's face it, taking pictures with celebrities is all about their death later. That's what Dan and I try to do. We try to get the older ones. Like, I'm pissed that I don't have a Betty White photo to pop up, you know, when she didn't make it to a hundo.
Yeah, no, you're right. I always debate if I'm going to post that photo if someone passes away. Like at the Bob Saget, I'm like, do I post rest in peace? Like, is Bob, like, we weren't friends. Like, I just had a photo with him. So I'm like, do I post that photo? Do I not? Even like Paulie Walnuts, who passed away recently. I was like, do I post that photo or is that just me flexing?
Yeah, exactly. It's a tough call. Weird. It's a tough call on how well you know them, you know?
Yeah.
Like Dan hangs out a lot with James Cromwell. He just wants to see James Cromwell die from Succession. He's gluing himself to fucking Starbucks and shit. Like, I think it's, you know, that's a good one. Cromwell's going to die. I've got a death list and people are on it.
Who's your top one?
I was going to say, let's confirm this with you guys and you can just give me a yay or a nay on this, on the death list. On the death list, I've got Demi Lovato on that death list, over under of 5 years.
I think maybe 2 years ago she would have been at the top. I don't know if I'd put her there now. I feel like she's cleaned up a lot.
Yeah, we've said that three or four different times, haven't we? Huh?
The money's still coming in for her, so she's doing all right. It's good business.
And she identifies.
Who's number two?
She identifies as like a hot like a weather balloon or some shit. Now I don't know what the fuck she's doing. So that she's probably too distracted to go off the rails at this point.
Maybe not. We'll see. Number 2 on my list is going to be a shocker to you guys. It's going to be Pete Davidson. And the reason why is I don't think that he's that stable. And once the Kim Kardashian thing ends, there is nowhere else to go anymore. Like, his hit list is so intense of like Kate Beckinsale, Kim Kardashian. I don't know where, like, what's the level you achieve after Kim Kardashian?
you go after power then instead of just wealth or beauty, right? So,
and you go for Kris Jenner after that.
Kris Jenner, or Hillary Clinton or somebody like that. Yeah. Like, you go for like, just find the most powerful woman you can find.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Dan does that. He tries to fuck people's dads, so that way he's got dominance over whoever.
It's not like
he's dating.
No, it's not a preemptive thing. But here's the deal. You know, we grew up in the '90s. If you acted like a dick to somebody, they would talk about your mom and threaten to fuck your mom and shit, right?
Exactly.
I feel like that's too much a part of the culture now where it's not that shocking. I mean, what's his name? Zach Wilson just banged his mom's friend.
Yep.
And everybody's just like, it's not that big a deal.
No.
Like, his girlfriend's overreacting. It's not a big deal. But if Zach Wilson, let's say, were to lose me my fantasy football season and I fucked his dad, he would never get over that. He would never. He would never psychologically recover from me banging his straight dad.
No. And then he's got to look at his father every Thanksgiving across that table and be like, hey, what's up, son? I was fucked by a dude.
Yeah, and it's your fault.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, you messed that up for me.
I feel like that's a pretty good weapon in my tool belt.
Yeah. Speaking of which, shit, since we have you, dude, I've wanted to know the answer to this story forever about getting fucked by a dude. Joe Francis, there is a rumor that he took a video for one of the Girls Gone Wild, and it was a mafia's like daughter or something like that, like the head of a mafia's daughter, and they kidnapped him, took him down to Mexico, and they raped him with dildos and stuff. Can you confirm that?
Wow. I have never heard this story. Adam, have you?
You know what's so funny? I think I heard. First, I'm going to say I heard what you heard to the extent where there was a girl, like a mafia type girl, that was involved with Girls Gone Wild. But him being taken down to Mexico and fucked with dildos, I did not hear that part. So that was a really good tag to it. So that's a great ending to the story. But I did not hear. I don't know about that.
Well, I heard it was in his house. He's got a beautiful house.
A really
they
sick
took
house.
him to his own house
In Mexico.
even.
Yeah. And then they tied him up, and there was dildos and stuff. There's a doc that came out on TNT the other night. I haven't been able to watch it. I've got a newborn. So she's really fucking everything up for me, so I didn't get to watch the doc. But they kind of alluded to it during a commercial break, and I looked at my wife, and I was like, oh, my God, maybe they're going to talk about him getting fucked. And that's what I wanted to know, whether or not Joe Francis got fucked by this mafioso's.
Dude,
yeah.
If you find out, I want to know, because I hadn't heard that, and I need to hear the ending to that story.
Dude, I'll hit you up. I'll text you. But
I don't want to. Yeah. Joe Francis, by the way, is like, I'm so curious about him because he has something on people, because even after Girls Gone Wild kind of had their time, the Kardashians and tons of celebrities were still going down and partying at his house. And was it Cabo, Dax? Or where?
Kim still goes down there. Kim Kardashian, whenever she goes on vacation, you see her on the beach taking photos. It's normally, what's his house? Like Casa Amara? I don't remember the hell his house is down there. But she's always there. The Kardashians party at his house all the time.
Jennifer Aniston still vacations there. Yeah, she still vacations there. He was raking it in back in the day. And I knew, so I went to, I was friends with one of his friends, and I got to go to his birthday party one time. And he rented out Six Flags at night and then put a bar at every single ride. And it was one of the greatest parties of all time. And then they just got on the speakers and said, ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe's birthday. We're going to come and blow out the candles and everything. So we all did, and then everybody went back to the rides. But you got to ride the rides all night, endlessly. I mean, because even 500 people just don't even come close to filling that place up. But I had heard, that story from him, that he had made so much money that it just didn't matter anymore.
Well, that's how Epstein did it, right? Like he also, like, to your point, you say maybe he's got something on people. That's kind of it's like the Scientology strategy, right? You're like, tell me all your secrets, man. You can trust me. Then you got a video of that shit, and you're like, hey, if you don't give me some of your money, then we're gonna have to go public with this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, any Scientologists hit you up and say, hey, don't run this footage?
No, but I will say this: all this, Dax, would you know? By the way, have you had that?
No, I haven't had that. No, I was just gonna talk about my moment with Scientology because it was crazy. But go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
No,
I was just saying.
Away.
No, tell your experience, because I think you got a good story.
I just remember, so I was at TMZ when Suri Cruise was being born. And if you remember, that was the biggest fucking thing on the planet.
Yep.
When Tom and Katie, like, the birth was a big deal. And I remember I was sent over to the Celebrity Scientology building. And that's right in the heart of Hollywood. It's like this big looking, like, castle looking building, right? And I remember I pulled up, and this is like in the middle of the day, 3 SUVs come in, go to this like parking area, and I pulled over to the side. I don't think anyone sees me, and they've got like people walking around in plain clothes, like loafers and khaki pants on. They blend in, but they're actually like security people for the Church of Scientology. And they're roaming around, and the guy comes up, knocks on my window. He's like, no, we're watching you right now. You can't be here because of this moment in time. And apparently they had all the Scientology locations locked down and sending decoy vehicles to all of them so that no one would know where Katie Holmes was giving birth. And I'm not sure she gave birth that day. I still think there was a fake belly involved. I've got some of my own conspiracy theories with that whole situation.
No shit.
Yeah, if you go back, there was one really weird photo where her belly was like dented in. And I think she gave birth to Suri like a good 2 months before they publicly said she was born. And I think Katie was walking around with a fake belly on. Conspiracy theory, but I think that was true.
I hope it's true. I just want to know that there's people out there who are rolling around with fake bellies, just in the world.
Isn't it? I mean, it's not exactly taboo to use a surrogate, is it?
No, not anymore.
I mean, it used to be
unless you're like Hugh Jackman, and then you're like, man, you're obviously gay.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean a surrogate, like to have the baby for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So it used to.
I don't think
it
it's
used to-
taboo anymore.
No, it used
no.
to-
I think back then people would have put a lot of emphasis on that. I don't think it's taboo
Maybe,
now.
but it was pretty common. I mean, it was kind of like I guess an open secret back then that celebrity women would schedule their delivery.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Like.
Yeah.
That was before. Now everybody does it because it's easier on the insurance companies, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
But,
They want you to do it.
yeah.
Shit.
But that was a thing before. I don't think anybody like when that news came to light. People were like, "Oh, fucking, that sounds like a really good idea. Actually, let's fucking do that."
Yeah.
And look, surrogacy is a good idea too. I think.
It's tough. Like I look at who's the newest Kardashian with Tristan Thompson? Is it Khloe?
Chloe.
Yeah, they're having another child via surrogate, and he's cheated on her for like the 90th time. There's another photo out this morning of it. Is it a good idea that they're having a surrogate? Because now you can't cancel that baby. You can't go back and be like,
is there a refund policy with a surrogate?
That would be funny.
Like,
to go-
sorry, no, like give it to the next person.
Like you find a surrogate and then she's having trouble, so you do IVF, and then like a couple weeks in, you're like, let's just abort it.
Let's just get rid of this.
Yeah.
Let's end it.
That probably has not happened, right?
No.
But the conversation probably has.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
some rich dummy and his fucking young girlfriend or something have like, let's fucking do this, and then it's pregnant, and then she's like,
I'm having second thoughts about this. Yeah. Can we cancel? And the woman's, are you fucking kidding me?
well, there's a restocking fee, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it. It's 119 grand, Nothing, because it's an expensive business. If you're going to have somebody else's kid, that's going to run you a couple $100K,
Guys, I got to think that this conversation, though, probably happened with Chloe. Her and Tristan broke up right after this pregnancy started.
Yeah.
Like, this was back in December. They broke up after he was cheating on her again, like you said, for the 19th time. They separated. So now you got a baby on the way with some dude that you don't even want to be with now. So I'm assuming this conversation happened.
I think so too. And then, no lie, if you look at the photos this morning, he was banging somebody in Greece, and they got a shot of him.
You see that
coming
video?
up. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. The balls on this guy.
He just doesn't care. His stroke game must be strong, though. If you can cheat on a Kardashian that much and they just keep coming back for it, his stroke game must be amazing.
Yeah.
She just makes a lot of mistakes, too.
Do you know Tristan Thompson? Do you know that guy personally? I don't know anything about him.
I don't know him personally, no.
Okay.
I don't know if, he's a decent player, and it seems like people like him in the NBA, but it's like, at what point do the other guys who are friends with him and talk to him like, dude, like, what are you doing? But this is the best thing for him. The one who's winning out of this is Tristan, because he's a hero now. Like I don't know what the deal was, what the legal situation is, how much money he's taking, or this is the best thing you do for his career. Because after his career, like, he's going to be a reality show person. He's like a Nick Cannon type person.
I wonder, didn't he and LeBron have some beef when he first started dating Khloe? Because LeBron didn't want the Kardashians around.
Because it's a distraction, and it is a massive distraction. Those guys are filming at all times. There's cameras everywhere they go, and then you've got to clear with security, and then the players and all that other shit. Now, I wouldn't want her on my team either, but in real life, yes, dude. Like, there's one that isn't impregnated, and that's the last golden goose in that family. I think Devin Booker's, I think Devin Booker's dating her.
But you don't need to impregnate one of them. You just have to, like, let's say Pete Davidson hooks up with Kris Jenner, for example, and then they have a surrogate kid. He's still entitled to some of that money for child support payments, right? That's what I would be doing.
He's good.
So we did a story, actually, because Pete was with Brillstein Management, which is one of the best management companies out there.
Brillstein Gray?
Yeah, Brillstein Gray.
Yep.
Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Adam Sandler, they're all represented by Brillstein Gray. Pete, within, Dax, maybe 3 months ago, left his management. And why would you leave Brillstein Gray? They're one of the best managers out there.
Everyone strives to get to them. So after you get to them, why would you peace out the second you start dating a Kardashian?
Wow.
And he hasn't confirmed it, but we think now that Kris is now the manager of Pete Davidson.
I'm going to be honest with you. If it was me right now with the same management and Kris Jenner calls me, I'm going with Kris Jenner. She doesn't fucking miss, dude. The devil works hard, but Kris works harder. Says. Yeah, dude. And if you notice with Pete Davidson, you're seeing him pop up in like ads like Smart Water, for example.
Yeah.
where he has no business getting a smart water campaign. Nothing about that guy screams health and rehydration than Pete Davidson.
He's probably going to get a new makeup line to cover up his fucking butthole eyes, right?
Look, if he did, that's even more money.
That's how Homegirl became a billionaire.
Yes.
Actually, multiple people now. I think Rihanna's.
She's a billionaire from Fenty. Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, Pete hasn't admitted to Chris or hasn't publicly said that Chris is now representing him. He said that his assistant his old assistant is now his manager, but that means his assistant's got his now manager is 23, 24 years old. And I mean, that's a hell of a
It doesn't
promotion,
make any sense. Yeah.
But Chris has got to
I want to know who made
this.
the Manscaped deal. Like, who was in there? It had to be Chris.
That's right.
We're
with Manscaped as well. And I just saw a video of he's got his own commercials. I saw it during the UFC fight on Saturday night. He's doing Manscaped now. It's got to be Chris. Just this mainstream shit where it's like, hey, dude, we're going to make you the guy. You got to go with Chris in this. I mean, if you look at Kim, she had the Spanx company that made her $1 billion. Who's it? Kendall, who's got the makeup that made her $1 billion as well. Even Kanye. Do you remember when Kanye went on those rants and he was just like, I've reached out to Jeff Zuckerberg and everybody else. I need, $7 billion. I can be the greatest, fashion mogul of all time. She set that up. He goes to Adidas. They fucking explode. And sure enough, yeah, dude, the Yeezys, everything he does turns to fucking gold. And I think it's her. Even after they broke up, he was like, look, fuck Pete Davidson, but I love you, Chris. You're still the best.
She's good. They changed the game. And it's funny because everyone, for doing what we do, everyone comes up to us and go, are the Kardashians assholes? Tell me about the Kardashians. And honestly, they're the nicest people. Like they're very, very nice. When I mean they're nice to the photographers. They're nice to the media, obviously, because they plant those stories. But they're also nice to the fans. Like they're cool people. She's great. She's a nice person. I want to. It'd be so great and easy if I could honestly shit on her, but I can't because she's always been super nice.
Yeah, it's the same way I feel about the Trumps. Like everybody asks us about hey, I was the Trump family and everything else. And I was like, I met them all. They're unbelievably nice, all of them. I wish I had something horrific to tell you about them, but I don't. Nice people in real life. So I get it. I understand what you're saying. And you don't become that successful by being just a cocksucker your entire life. So it makes sense because there's so much that goes into that, especially creating companies. They're not just repping celebrities. I mean, they're creating brands that last forever out of that family.
That's lifetime wealth right there.
Yes, generational wealth.
They changed the games with these setup paparazzi shots. Like you remember, now you look through an Us Weekly magazine, you see a celebrity like Katie Holmes drinking coconut water in the Walgreens, and then they shot somehow the label sticking out. It's like, yeah, Kim's the one who started doing that stuff. Now everyone is trying to become friends with them. Everyone's trying to it's funny. At one point they were shunned, but now everyone's trying to gravitate towards them because they changed the game and they're making tons of money.
I know.
It's wild.
The wildest one was that video game where they were making, what was it, $1 million per day? It was nuts, man. I mean, it was absolutely fucking nuts. And they were just selling little trinkets in the game. Like you buy her socks or open up the closet that you've never seen.
Yeah,
Things
that
like
didn't
that.
last. So that went away pretty quick, didn't it? I
sure
forgot
did.
about that.
You know
Look
why?
at your memory over there like a fucking elephant on the Kardashians.
Welcome. You're welcome. You know why, though, is they were getting, because kids were buying it. And one of them got sued. I think somebody's little dumb kid fucked it up for everyone. Charged $136,000 in that video game, because you want to buy the socks and the earrings and the whole thing. And the creditors came after and they're like, hey, you're going to have to pay this. I think there was some lawsuit involved, but even that changed the game because now all the shit Pokemon and everything else, they're just selling that shit to kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like Adam said, everyone wants to shit on the Kardashians, and I think it's the fun thing to do to shit on the Kardashians. But God damn, you have to look at how successful they've been. And in entertainment, there's no other family or person that I can say has kept the relevancy that they have. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to be on a reality show and stay interesting for 16, 20 season, whatever season they're on right now.
Yeah.
No one else has the storylines that these people have in their daily life. Who would have ever thought Bruce Jenner would have transitioned? That is a wild ass story. You know what I'm saying? And every story that they have is fucking crazy.
I think Family Guy actually called that one.
Yeah, they did. They did.
A couple years.
Family Guy
before,
calls everything though.
Yeah.
I know.
Them and The Simpsons. Come on.
Yep.
I tried to buy Bruce's dick in a jar for Dan for Christmas and was unable to locate it. So you can put your head down all you want back there. Cut to camera 5 real quick, just his reaction. There it is. I just need to see it. Just need to see it.
Oh,
I wanted to give him a gift. All right. That gift was Kris Jenner. It was this dick. It's Bruce's dick. That's a gold medal winning cock right there that I could have had in a jar right behind us, and I failed. All right. Nothing I can do about it. However, you do own Trophy Smack, so you could have a replica of his cock, and that would be our new fantasy football trophy for the year.
Yeah, where is your trophy? Where the hell's this thing that you got from us?
Okay, so we have multiple things, but they go out. We send them out to the winners. And I lost last year. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't have any of the fun stuff anymore. That was all sent out to the listeners, and we don't have it. But you guys are the very best in that field. What made you want to do this company?
Dude, this was like, I couldn't have planned this. My background has been in entertainment news and journalism. I left TMZ, and like 2 months after leaving TMZ, I had a New Year's party at my house. My buddy Matt was there, and we were right in the middle of the fantasy football season. Or no, I guess it had just ended, and he thought he was going to win. And so he's like, I've been trying to find this fucking huge trophy. I couldn't find it. And so I think I want to make one, because there's no good fantasy football trophies out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't have a job. I got time on my hands. Let's do this. And that's literally how it started. And so over the last couple of years, we've been just growing this business. It started in my garage, and we got like a little laser engraver. We were building trophies up until like 2 a.m. out of my garage. And then it got so big that we couldn't handle all the boxes going out every day. So then we moved to another fulfillment center. Then we wind up on Shark Tank and partner with Cuban. I mean, the whole thing has been an unbelievable, crazy ride.
Yeah, because when I bought from you guys, it was late. It was fucking late, dude. So I'm going to let you know. I'm kidding. But you guys had to have exploded at the time. We saw you guys on Facebook ads. And so for us, because I'm in a Drinkin Bros group, and Dan and I have about 10 leagues that we have here. And then I have a college one. The college one's been going on for so long that we engrave it, and then the winner gets to keep it on their mantle. And it has to stay on their mantle in their house so that all the wives hate them, everything else throughout the year. And then we have a loser's trophy that's made out of a toilet roll. And then that's got to be on display as well, and it lives for the full year, and then whoever gets it, gets it. So you never get to keep it, even though you won. Dude, and that's the fun thing.
We got full-blown toilet seats that go around your head for the losers. I mean, enough with this toilet roll bull crap. I'll send you a toilet seat your loser has to wear throughout the whole draft, the whole thing.
Oh, that's great. How into it are you? Did you just start it because it was fun and nobody else had done it, or are you actually into fantasy football?
No, I've been playing fantasy football for, I don't know, 10 or so years. Pre this whole thing. I suck at fantasy football. I'm not gonna lie. I'm only on the trophy for 1 year, so I've only won once. But nevertheless, for me, I think it is the coolest thing to do, like socially with your buddies. You get, 4 or 5 months where you're just on a text chain. You're going out to see games on Monday night. Like that, to me, the social aspect with my buds that are like all from high school. That's what I love about fantasy football. I suck at it, but I still have a good time just hanging out with my guys.
Yeah, I'm a champion, and I just don't lose unless there's an injury, but that's me. Obviously we're different people, and
Do you have any weird
Did
rules?
you win that shitty looking trophy behind you? What is that?
So this is I needed this on the fly. Okay, so this is why I didn't go to you guys, but I'm glad you brought it up. And Dan loves it every time. I am also not a podcast host, but I'm also a coach as well. I coach my kids. Now, I wasn't amped with the trophies that the league gave out.
Clearly.
So I made my own. I have a 5-footer here that I needed. And then this year I got a 6-footer because we went back to back. And this was in soccer, under 7 and then under 8 this year. And I'm a back-to-back champion. But I need the turnaround time is 48 hours because you don't know if you're going to win that last game or not. So I got a local guy here in Austin who makes these for me. But let's face it.
Let me know when you're ready to upgrade to an adult trophy, and I will send you a 6-foot tall trophy.
I will, but here's the pressure of it: is It comes down usually to the last game, and then you don't know.
You can get the engravings out there, but get the real trophy from Trophy Smack.
No, I will. But here's the disgusting part of this. Like, and this is totally true, by the way. And I don't really give a fuck if you judge me for this. This is how you breed champions. I didn't know. Like, so if they lost this year, then they don't get the trophies, right? But if they win, they got the trophies. Well, I had to buy them in advance because, again, I wasn't happy with what the league gives you. It's about this tall. John Mayer's dick is bigger than the goddamn trophy. And so you have to pre-order these because they got to get engraved and everything else. Well, at halftime, it was tied. And I said to the kid, they were like, are we going to get the trophies if we lose? And I go, no, you're not. Here's the trophies that the league gave. Here's the ones that you're going to win. But I'm going to need 5 goals out of you in the second half or you don't get these trophies. And they're like, are you serious? And I was like, yes, I'm serious. And that's what life is. You win and you lose. You're either a winner or a loser in this life. So what do you want? And they were like, we want the big trophies. And then went out and smashed this other team in the second half. Congratulations. That's being
awesome.
Father of the Year is. But yes, I would love one of your trophies.
Trophies, though.
Well, here's where I get in trouble. So even the participation trophies they get, I throw them away.
Yes.
Like you're not. I will not allow you to be rewarded for
just showing up,
which is why I've not been invited back.
No, you can't. You can't. And I remember my kid asking me, he's like, what are you going to do with these loser trophies? And I go, it's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you throw them in the garbage. And so I let him throw them in to get used to it. This is what life is going to be. It's a long journey for you. And but we'll be ordering from you soon. Fantasy Football fires up here in about 6 weeks. Super stoked about that. And I got a lot of money on the line this year. You guys gamble at all?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That sounded depressing.
Yesterday was a tough day. No, yesterday was a tough day for me. Because now it sucks this week because it's the All-Star break. Because I'm in. We could bet here now on the East Coast, so it's. I just didn't do well in bets yesterday, but now there's nothing to bet on. Like I'm not going to bet on the home run derby or the Major League Baseball All-Star game. So this is like a dead week in betting for me.
I got it. Who'd you lose on yesterday? U.S. Open? British Open?
No, I did. Yeah, I did lose on that. I bet on Rory to win.
Good. You know who we picked over here? These guys?
Who'd you have?
The big guys. We picked Cam Smith. So you're welcome for that.
Yeah, but he's leaving for LIV probably next week.
No way. Is that true?
90 million or something?
Probably after the President's Cup. The entire
No
Adam
way.
Scott, Leishman, all the Aussies.
And then Hideki got offered, I think, $350 million to go.
Yeah,
Holy
Hideki's gone.
shit, dude.
David Faraday just signed to be the announcer.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's over. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. I didn't know. We've been on air all day.
And ironically, you know what Faraday's charity is?
What is it?
It's a 9/11
Stop. Is it really?
Memorial Foundation, yeah.
Oh, God, dude. That's terrible.
This is the plan. Maybe all these people are getting involved in this so they can fly a plane into a Saudi Arabian building.
Yeah, that would be a nice thing if Cam Smith just got in and blew up one of their buildings in return.
Yeah. I mean, he's Australian, so I don't know that he gives a fuck about what happened with us, but he does have a mullet, which makes you think he may, right? It's hard to tell with that guy.
That guy fucks, doesn't he?
Did
you watch it yesterday?
He's definitely got Coors Light
yeah.
within arm's reach of him right now. If I had to guess, like you're talking about gambling, if I had to bet whether or not Cam Smith has a Coors Light in his general vicinity, I would bet yes.
He lives in Jacksonville, too. So.
Yeah.
He lives in Jacksonville, Florida?
I would say that's probably like a minus 450 for that,
yeah.
for a yes bet on that. Because look at the guy. Come on, man.
Easily. He's super white trash. Super white trash.
I like him, though.
Yeah, I love him. He won us. I saw $100 paid off at $2,500 yesterday. It was 25 to 1. I know. We crushed yesterday because we've got a sports show as well on this network. So we'll be patting ourselves on the back. Me and our producer, Delco Dan, each picked Cam Smith to win this week.
That's good. I did terrible. The only win I had yesterday was the under the first inning of the Diamondbacks and Padres game.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's some junky shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm bad, dude. Yeah.
You're that bad, but you're not going to bet on the home run derby at least.
Yeah,
no, I am probably. I say that now. So I'm pissed. I'm mad because that's the only bet of the week, really. So I will bet on the All-Star game. It's just it's a bad week in gambling.
It is. This is a dead week. But since I won, because we also had I took your Cam Young bet, by the way, Delco. I usually don't do top 20s. I did a top 20 with Cam Young. $250 paid off at $750 yesterday. My take home was $3,000 yesterday, so I'm amped. Therefore, I'm going to blow half of it on the home run derby tonight, and I'm going to go with Juan Soto at plus 650.
So it's so funny you said that I'm not excited about it. I am a degenerate. I already bet on Juan Soto. So thank you for that. I haven't.
I fucking knew it, dude.
Plus 500. What do you got him at?
Damn it, dude. I got him at plus 650, but I knew it inside of you. I was like, he's fucking lying in my face right now, dude. I guarantee you if I bait him.
It's not a fun bet, but of course I'm going to take it. I need something to watch on TV.
Well, it's apparently it's a pretty popular bet because it's down to plus 400 now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I took it this morning.
That's money down the toilet.
It is?
Soto.
Who's your dark horse?
There's no dark horse. It'll be either Schwarber or Alonso for sure.
Yeah.
They just have natural home run swings. That's who wins in these competitions.
I like Schwarber. There's somebody else this morning was talking about Rodriguez as an underdog.
Maybe. It's hard to say. He's only 21. He's never been in a competition like that. I mean, he's got the stamina on the other guys probably. That's the one thing that fucks people over in these home run contests a lot.
And so. I can't see Pete Alonso go for a three-peat.
He wants it. That's all he's
I know he wants it. I love people who want shit. 3 in a row that's tough, man. That's tough. Usually that stadium, I've been to Dodger Stadium a million times. That left field or the right field down there. I think that'll be hot tonight. I don't know.
I might throw $100 on Pujols though, because
just to do it.
You know, whenever David Stern was still the NBA commissioner, I feel like 30 to 40% of NBA games were just the fix was in. It just felt weird. Like the narrative worked out too many times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And why the fuck would you add Albert Pujols to this field? Why?
Because they were begging to get him in.
Yeah.
They couldn't get him in the All-Star game. They're like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's his last year. You want to talk about participation trophies. Isn't there like 80 All-Stars this year?
Well, if you look at there's 8 people in the home run derby. Ronald Acuna, I think, has got 8 home runs on the season. And
but he was hurt.
Sure, but not for that long.
Right.
He only missed about a month and a half of the season, so he's well behind his typical pace. And Pujols only has 6, and he's playing. I assume the guy throwing to him is going to be left-handed, right?
Yeah,
because that's all he hits against now.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Can I ask you guys something?
Yeah, God.
If you go in the All-Star game, do you get paid a little bit for being in that game?
Yes.
It's
in your contract.
Do you know how much?
Well, so your agent negotiates it, and it's up to the agent and then the thing. Minimum, usually you're getting $25K, and then maximum, you're usually getting $100. So it depends on who your agent is and how well they negotiated that deal. But then there's also step-ups for Golden Glove.
Sure.
Top average, home runs, if you win the World Series, blah, blah, blah.
If you're a player, though, would you rather have the week off or would you rather play in the All-Star game?
I guess it depends on how you're playing, right?
I'm still nostalgic about the All-Star game. So I think that's a big deal. Like, even doing movies and all that other shit, it's like my dream was to play in that celebrity softball game with Ricky Henderson.
I'm with you.
That was
see that
it.
JoJo Siwa home run the other day?
Oh, yeah, dude. Well,
dude, I was so pissed off when I watched these celebrity games because I'm like, I would go in there and I would really play hard. I'm a decent athlete. Like, I would have threw her out. I would have gotten, like, there's no way JoJo Siwa is hitting a home run over my head. Like, I would have threw her out from left field. And she was really running the bases. I was like, yeah, no shot. I'm making sure she doesn't hit a home run. ESPN put that on their Instagram, I think. And I was like, dude, really? This is what the ESPN Instagram account's becoming? Like, just like JoJo Siwa home runs? Come on, guys.
Well, they can't talk about LeBron every 5 minutes right now.
They can't.
So
that's true.
Right?
They got to take a day off of that. Plus, like, let's say it was a play at the plate, like a bang-bang play at the plate, right? With JoJo Siwa's new haircut, you could have just said, hey, man, I thought it was a dude. You know, I'm sorry about it. She got a no-fuss haircut. I didn't even recognize her. There was
not bad. I took her out on the plate.
Exactly. Imagine if you guys did, glitter just shot out everywhere, and you're like, "Oh fuck, dude."
When you cross the lines and come onto the field of battle, then that's all that matters. Is it your presence?
Oh, 100%.
Like I don't give a fuck what you look like, or if you put a child out there, that child's getting fucked up.
Exactly. I remember NBA All-Star Game 2. Now that one I wouldn't do. That's a little too much cardio for me. Where I'm like, holy shit, because you can get embarrassed real quick in something like that. Softball for sure, but it was Obama's guy. Who is the white guy that was his? Wasn't it the press secretary? Do you know what I'm talking about, Bob?
Jay Carney.
There you go. He would play in all those celebrity games, and he used to house people. Like he was playing for keeps, and he didn't give a shit who was in there. And I enjoy shit like that. So if you were in it, yes, I want your best.
Yeah, you're right. Basketball, you can really get embarrassed. And I know like so many guys, like Justin Bieber would play in them, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna embarrass Bieber. I'm gonna like, somehow be aggressive with them." Basketball, I probably would still do it because it's just in my head. I would love to do rock and jock baseball. Remember when Dan Cortez used to host?
Oh yeah,
that one would have been fun when there was like a 20-point shot or something like that. Like that would have been fun, but. You're right, though. I would love to play one of these all-star games. But it's funny. I watched I was at one with Floyd Mayweather played in some all-star basketball game in Atlantic City, of all places. And there was just random celebrities like Ken Shamrock and then like some random WWE superstar who left because they had 2 DUIs. So it was just like a really random thing. And I remember like someone saying like, hey, don't like get too physical with Floyd because, there could be a lawsuit. They were just so afraid for insurance reasons that someone could get hurt. And I think everyone was trying to gun for Floyd to, either embarrass him. Everyone wants that clip. Everyone wants that highlight on their phone of them either blocking someone really cool or embarrassing someone. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, if you want to embarrass Floyd Mayweather, though, just hand him a book and tell him to read out loud.
Yeah, it's just one sentence, just say, hey, read this one sentence and you're good to go. He can't read.
No, because, look, he's a better athlete than me, for sure.
Yeah.
Why would I go after him there? That doesn't make any sense.
Give him a copy of The Great Gatsby. What's that?
Very smart guy. He knows what he's doing. He's very PR savvy.
Yeah, he's really
I started the biggest fight in fight history, the Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So that might have been one of my biggest. I mean, I've had a lot of pretty decent moments doing what I'm doing, but I started the Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor fight. At UFC 205, Conor McGregor wins in New York City. Everyone's talking about Conor McGregor.
I'm there. I was there. I was at that fight.
Remember, like the place was just crazy.
It was
awesome.
The
Irish fans were outside. And everyone's going nuts for Conor McGregor. Sunday, everyone talks about Conor. Monday, everyone talks about Conor. Tuesday, I had a tip that Floyd Mayweather was shopping in the Diamond District in New York City. So I go up to the Diamond District. I get there. And I'm like, Floyd, let's do something about Conor. He goes, all right, let's do it. So I tee him up and I go, Floyd, what'd you think about Conor? All of a sudden, he gives me a 5-minute rant saying, never compare an elephant to an ant. He's never done the things I've done. Just like that, he takes all the wind away from Conor McGregor. And then the next day, I had a tip that Conor McGregor was still in New York. And I got him at this lunch place. And I said, hey, Conor, Floyd said, never compare an elephant to an ant. He said, you never could do the things he's done. He said, Conor says, tell him to say it to my face. And he says, do you believe what he said? And I was like, and he just starts talking shit about Floyd. The next day, I had Floyd Mayweather again talking shit about Conor. The next day, I get Dana White talking trash about Floyd Mayweather, which got the internet talking, which created the biggest fight in fight history. And I made these guys a lot of money, and all I got was a souvenir T-shirt. Yeah. But it was. But I have like video of both those guys that credited me, and I got to like hang out with them. I mean, I went out to the fight, and it was pretty cool. And I mean, it was just that's how it. This is when those super fights started, and it just started on the streets where the internet starts saying, hey, can Conor actually beat Floyd Mayweather? Yeah. And we saw what happened.
Yeah, some of them make sense, and some like that one made sense because Conor was Floyd Mayweather just in UFC instead of boxing.
Sure.
Like that to Mayweather's business savvy, switching from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, like becoming a heel and monetizing that shit is the best. I mean, that dude made so much fucking money off of that idea.
Oh, dude.
I don't understand why. This is one problem I always have with UFC. Like, you don't want to feign personalities and stuff like that necessarily, but maybe having an acting coach from the WWE go over and tell people in the UFC how to talk shit properly instead of just like, oh, yeah, well, fuck your mom, bro. You know what I mean? Like, actually develop an A and B plot in your shit talking and like WWE does and actually be good at it. Because look, the fight is the fight. It's going to be entertaining, but that whole lead up to it, getting people to actually watch it, that marketing part, UFC, I don't think they hit it every now and again by coincidence, but I don't think they're very good at it.
No, and there definitely is an art to it. And then you need guys like you guys to hype it up and kind of figure it out and develop the storylines behind the scenes. But then you need people like the story with Floyd who go along with it, who are like, okay, cool, man, turn the camera on, let's go.
Yeah, exactly what happened. I mean, he knew what was going on. He knew what he was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's a marketing master.
And he's still doing it. He's still kind of like hinting like there could be a fight. And it's not, is it anything in the book like written down? Like, no, but he's like, listen, I'd rather keep the idea of possibly there might be a fight, you know, and this shows you what the Kardashians are doing. Khloe Kardashian, TMZ broke the story that Khloe Kardashian is having a baby with a surrogate. Now, Khloe could have released that story with her own Instagram. You know, she could have wrote down a statement saying, hey, I'm having a baby with Tristan. Here's the deal. But instead, she released the story with a news outlet and let them control the narrative. Let the public control the narrative rather than her. Because she doesn't care what you talk shit. Like everyone, here we are talking shit saying, is she crazy going back with Tristan Thompson? But it's good business for her because everyone's going to tune into Hulu to see the Kardashian TV show.
Well, no, keep this in mind is that they have done season 2. They're waiting to see if they're going to get a season 3 on Hulu. What better way to lock down a season 3 than by saying this kind of big news? It breaks out there. Now everyone wants to see this baby come to light. And how is this going to affect Tristan and her? Blah, 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 blah. They probably just got themselves a season 3 with that news coming out.
It's just Who Shot JR, but it's real life.
Yeah, and like the Travis Barker thing, like he was almost dead, allegedly, and then all of a sudden he's fine playing gigs 3 days later. That's part of it too.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a crazy story, how people are scared about Travis Barker. Travis Barker now, he is Blink-182. Like there's Mark and Tom. Well, Tom's no longer in the group, but now Travis Barker is the star of Blink-182, and everyone made a big deal about him in the hospital. And obviously, we were wondering what's going on. But 2 days later, now he's back in the studio. But I thought he was we were fearing for his life at the moment. You know, it was just wild that that story got so much gas.
Yeah, it did. And I think at the end of this, Tom, by the way, he's a scientist. So let's face it, he found UFOs. He brought those to life here and all that other stuff. But with Travis Barker and that whole marriage and that other bullshit, like that's going to keep continuing. Devin Booker, I don't know what's going to happen with that and the Kardashian thing. He's got too much money that he doesn't matter. Like he can afford not to pull out. Not like the rest of us dummies, you know? Which is what we want to see. I want to see a regular guy kind of knock one of them up and then see what happens, you know?
Well, that was Scott Disick.
That's true.
Wasn't that exciting?
Well, he's fun, though. Like, he played into the whole American Psycho bit.
He's crazy. So, yeah. He's entertaining, and I think that's what he brought to the family was full-blown entertainment.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. He absolutely
plays
does.
heel.
Yeah.
He definitely plays the heel. And you're right. I agree with you. Like the UFC needs to have more heels, and heels are a good thing. We had Spencer Pratt on our podcast, and he understands what he's doing. I remember when he first came out, Spencer Pratt was, you know, he came out a little bit too early, you know, as the villain. And everyone thought him and Heidi Montag were such crazy people. But no, they knew what they're doing. And now the Kardashians essentially just are doing what they're doing, but timing wise, it just worked better for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit. They're still kind of doing shit here and there. And I believe they're still together, right?
Yeah, they're Heidi and Spencer having another kid right now.
Jesus, that's amazing. Well, God bless them. This was fun. Thanks for being here. This is the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who has inspired you, helped you become the person you are today. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
Adam, you want to give someone?
I want to say Shaq, dude. Shaq's my guy. I know it sounds crazy, and Shaq doesn't even really drink. Shaq doesn't drink, but Shaq to me is listen. Shaq sent me a video yesterday of him He sent me a video of him partying in Belgium at Tomorrowland, and he's moshing in the crowd. The video is like everywhere right now. It's on TMZ. It's on Entertainment Tonight, and he just sent me the video and was like, "Hey, do what you want with the video. It's on our thing." And it's just he's the best. He's a good guy. He's my boy.
You don't really hear a whole lot of people saying anything negative about Shaq, either out of fear.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Charles Barkley. They talk shit a lot. Those are two, like if it, you know how a routine question you get asked is like if you had a one dinner guest, who would you pick? I've studied religion and philosophy and science and all this other shit. I've got a lot of heroes in those worlds, but to have like a 3-hour long, several course meal with just Shaq and Charles Barkley and listen to them, I wouldn't even say anything.
That would be hilarious.
Just listen to them talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
It'd be the best day of my life, probably.
The stories those guys have that they don't say on their show are just incredible. Like there's stories they won't even say in podcasts what they've done. It's pretty wild. Like some of the stuff that we don't hear about, that's almost like they can't say anything because it would ruin. Actually, it would make the NBA so much better, but it's just they're scary stories for the NBA.
Oh, for sure.
Amazing though.
For sure. Yeah, my dinner guest is probably Casey Anthony still, you know? I just
that'd be such a good guest.
Just want to ask, you know, what were you doing that night? What was who was it? What was the guy that you were going out with that night that you had to give homegirl a full
over? So wait, over OJ?
Well, now we've had conversations to get OJ on the show. The only problem with that, I don't know if you guys have chatted with him in a while. Hello, Twitter world. But they don't want you to ask about the murders. And that's, you know.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it'd be like having Farrah Abrams on and not being able to talk about butt sex. Like, that's what you want to know.
We had her on. We talked a lot of fun stuff with her.
She talked all about it.
Oh, she talks about anal on your show?
Dude,
she talked about how she broke that story. You're talking about sex tapes coming out. Like, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
That was my favorite celebrity sex tape, by the way. She crushed it.
I thought China had a great
God
sex tape.
damn it, dude. There's no way you went with China today.
The producer desk, we're big China boys.
God damn it, dude. These assholes back here, you can't see them right now. They were into China. I can't get off to that. I can't get off to China, dude.
Rest in peace.
No, she had a wiener. It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. That is the longest clit I have ever seen in my life.
It's crazy, wasn't it? Oh, God, dude. There's just even the voice, because it's, you know, even the moaning was a dude's voice. And you're just like, oh, God.
Well, it's
damn
like
it,
Bobby
dude.
Brady almost, because there's that high-pitched crack at the end where she's trying to hit the high note but can't.
You go for X-Pac, though.
No,
But you guys should get Farrah on the show. That she does not hide away from it. It was probably one of our best podcasts we've ever had. Farrah just opened up, didn't hide away from fucking anything. She showed up on time, which I thought was going to be rough for Farrah.
Sure.
She was literally one of our best guests ever.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely look into it for sure. Who's your drinking bro of the week, by the way?
Man, I mean, would it be bad to give it to Harvey Levin just because I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys if he didn't give me a shot fucking 12 years ago, 13 years ago?
That guy's a fucking genius, man. I mean, look, he turned that into an empire, and it could have easily gone south.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. There was many times it could have gone south. But the fact that he saw some kid straight out of college and said, you know what? I'm going to give you a chance, and it fucking changed my life. Changed my life.
Yeah, it's amazing. And those guys are still doing it today. They've got, what, TMZ Sports, and I think
got everything.
I think the TV show's still on Fox and all that stuff. Is he still drinking out of the water bottle still?
He still drinks out of a little sippy cup.
Look at that. Look at that guy. You know, it's amazing.
Does he actually drink anything, or is it just a prop to wave it at people?
I think it's like literally
Kombucha?
iced tea from Starbucks or something.
Okay. All right. But look, you guys are the next wave. Hollywood Raw is your podcast. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, anywhere you download podcasts, but I want to say, like, we're not just your average entertainment podcast. We're not talking all just about Kardashians and bachelor shit. That's not us. We like to knock down the fourth wall of Hollywood. So we're talking to bodyguards, to paparazzi, to, you know, flight attendants on private jets to see what these celebrities are really like. And I think that is the thing that we get the biggest feedback is just these paparazzi stories. Because, yeah, you know, like, we have our stories, Adam and I, but, like, these paparazzis have the craziest lives running around, filming people, and we get those stories out of them. But no, we do them, but then we get celebs on. I mean, we're kind of mixing it up. And I would say we make it entertaining for guys to listen to. And I think that's the difference. You know, we're not just sitting here gossiping the whole time. We're having like a really good, fun conversation. And a lot of the guys that listen to our podcast are like, fuck, dude, thank you so much, because now I can go talk to my lady about something that interests them. Or I'm going on a date. Thanks for helping us out. I don't know. We're just different from a lot of the other entertainment podcasts out there.
Yeah, and those guys get dirty, dude. I mean, they're sitting in cars for 18 hours a day, eating Del Taco, trying to get the shot and everything else. It's not the glamorous life you think it is.
Mm-mm. No, and that's what I like to hear. Like, I like to hear about, you know, when Brad Pitt threw a fucking hamburger in someone's face. I want to hear that story, because to me, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And we did have a paparazzi say that once.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He said Brad Pitt pulled up right next to him. The guy thought Brad wanted to talk to him. He rolled down his window, and the dude, Brad, threw a fucking hamburger right in the guy's face.
Oh, that's great.
Ketchup everywhere, just slid down his face.
The best one ever was Suge Knight driving over that guy. on the set. I mean, he's still in jail for it, but that was amazing. Part of
Dax
me.
has a, Dax has a great Suge Knight story.
Dude, Suge Knight cornered me in an alleyway once. I had to cover his bankruptcy hearing. Like, who the fuck sends a little white boy to cover his bankruptcy hearing? The guy loses $100 million. I'm standing outside wanting to talk to him, and he ends up with him and two other giant dudes cornering me in an alley, pushing me around. It was fucking crazy.
Was it for when he lost Death Row, when Death Row Records went bankrupt?
Yep.
That was a weird time, man. I was out in LA for that, and you could go in and buy all the shit from the office. Like the chair, the Death Row chair, all that stuff. And it was like an estate sale after that happened. It was super bizarre.
Oh, you want to see something cool from an estate sale?
Yeah, what do you got?
Check this shit out. Hold on. You're going to love this. Speaking of Scientologists.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing.
I have Kirstie Alley's giant French fries from her yard sale.
Oh, no way, dude. Look at that.
I saw that she was having a yard sale.
Yeah.
So I went by. I was like, oh, I got to check this out. Went with a couple other people that I worked with. Her whole yard was full of Pier 1 imports crap, because you remember she used to be the face of Pier 1.
Sure.
So I went, and I saw these fries in a paparazzi photo, so I bought the fries just to have them. I also have her Christmas stocking somewhere. It has her name on it.
Now, when you say stocking, are you talking about the one that hangs over the chimney or actual Christmas stocking she was wearing?
The one that hangs on a chimney.
Okay, cool. Because there's a guy
on it.
There's a guy in our staff who's got a fetish. Just bag that up, if you got the leggings. But if you don't, you don't. Just don't wash them.
And then she had lemurs. She has monkeys just hanging out in a cage in her front yard. She had just
shit.
lemurs.
Dan wants a monkey.
I do.
And she was sitting over there around the corner as everyone's just pilfering through all of her crap on the front yard.
Yeah.
She was just sitting on the side, just digging through boxes. It was the weirdest thing.
No shit.
Yeah.
Man, Kirstie Alley. Stars, they're just like us, Anthony. They really are. This was a fun one, guys. We appreciate you being on. Check out Hollywood Raw wherever you get podcasts. Great show. Please come back, dude. This is a really fun time.
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks,
We'd love to come back for sure.
Thanks for having us.
Hell yeah. We appreciate it. Download Hollywood Raw everywhere you can. And then obviously rate the show. Rate it a 5-star and leave a quick review. That's how advertisers pay for shit and everything else. I'll say it since you won't have to at this point. When you download it, just rate and review it, all right? It helps.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin' Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.